Barbecue. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Team Profile and Projection here on Talkin Baseball, where we're giving you an episode a day every day until opening day. Subscribe to the channel, like, rate, review. We're excited. We're talking about the Kansas City Royals. You guys ranked them the 25th best team. You didn't rank them last in their own division, as we've already done the White Sox. They won 56 games last year. They lost 106. That put them 31 games back in the division. They had got a lot of new names, though. A lot of new arms. Jake, who'd they add?
Your Kansas City Royals. How about Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha? Couple early free agent signings to the rotation. Hunter Renfroe, kind of know what you're going to get. He'll be in the outfield. Chris Stratton, World Series winner. Will Smith, okay. Couple championship pedigrees in the bullpen. We'll talk about the Adam Frazier signing in a little bit. Also, there was some Nick Anderson and Kyle Wright from the Braves. So they brought in like a lot of major league guys. I know Jimmy sees Luis Cessa on that minor league deal. They also lost some bodies. Josh Staumont was a part of that pen when they were right. He's had some ups and downs. He's now with Trevi's Twins. Taylor Hearn, our guy, going overseas. Is that true? Got to send him a text. And a lot of other bodies. Zach Greinke's unsigned. Amir Garrett, JBJ. A lot of and not a lot of Does the lineup have something going on, T-Pain?
I think it does if we can keep this lineup healthy, and I'm glad we're filming this today because, in behind the scenes, Bobby Witt Jr. signed a massive extension yesterday. So he's going to be near the top of the lineup. Right now, Fangraphs has Maikel Garcia batting leadoff, Bobby Witt Jr. behind him, Sal Perez still there, our guy Vinny Pasquantino, he'll be right in the middle of that order. They need him desperately in the lineup. Hunter Renfroe, as you mentioned, he'll hit some homers for you. MJ Melendez. Then we have like the second base. Probably Michael Massey will start there. Adam Frazier got brought over. He'll probably be more a utility role, kind of going all over the place. Nelson Velasquez hit some homers for them last year. And Kyle Isbell in center field. So they have some guys that you like in that lineup. The length necessarily isn't there. On the bench, you got Darian Blanco, Freddie Fermin, Garrett Hampson. So there's some guys there. You can dream upon the top of that lineup. James, what about the rotation in the bullpen?
The rotation's interesting because you've got names. Cole Reagans had a great second half last year when they brought him over and turned him into a starter. Remember that time he threw like all those wild pitches in a row? That was weird. Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo, Brady Singer, angstiest pitcher in all of baseball, Jordan Lyles rounds out the rotation. And then the bullpen's like all new. Will Smith, he comes over looking for his fourth World Series appearance in a row. Jake said Nick Anderson, Chris Stratton they brought over. James McArthur, he's kind of the Cole Reagans of the bullpen for them. Like he broke out last year and was nasty besides his first start, which screws up all his stats. 1 inning pitch, 7 earned runs. James, cut it out. Austin Cox. And John McMillan, a little of a ghost sighting for them. Came up, had 4 appearances, and they're like, we want more Johnny Mick. So it's a bunch of new guys in the mix. That's the bullpen.
Did you say ghost sighting?
Yeah, it's almost like a Steven Ridings type situation. Like he came up, or Andujar for the Yankees fans, like came up for 4 games, was nasty, and then like they're like, hey, bring him, let's see him again. I want him back. Is he coming?
Can I make one?
He didn't even pitch in AAA. It was like a 6-man. Yeah. Pronunciation.
Yeah, I said Darian Blanco. It's Dyrome Blanco.
Wow.
Apologies.
Wow.
Dyrone Blanco. That's a cool name.
Can I tee something up?
Oh, I said Cole Reagans, and according to the sheet here, it's called Reagans.
I like Reagans.
Oh, okay. I think so too.
If I was a fan of a 56 and 106 team last year, the Kansas City Royals,
yep,
I would hope that there were a lot of changes, and there are a lot of changes. So I think that's a good starting point.
Yes. I agree.
I don't know about the next steps, though.
Well, I think what I'm having trouble with a lot of these AL Central teams is I'm getting annoyed with divisions for the first time in my entire life. Because, the AL Central is going to get wins against each other. Like, this Royals team can beat the other teams in the AL Central. Maybe I think the Twins are the top, Trev, so don't get insulted. But the other four kind of have them doing a dance where anything can happen. But I don't know how that grades out compared to like the 30 teams, or a playoff picture. But the Royals can have themselves a nice season with this squad if everything goes right. And I think I can say the same thing about the other four teams, non-Twins in the Central. I do like it's an improvement from last year, and they're making moves. Like, I think that's where Royal fans are going to be excited.
You guys always bring up the Central. I think there's a little bit of truth in there. I mean, look, there are some teams that aren't in their quote unquote windows, or they're seeing what they have. I think the Royals understand that they are in the division. I think you have to put the Tigers up there as well. I think it's going to be Twins. I think the Tigers are there. Cleveland's kind of middle ground, and then Royals and White Sox. But Royals have a chance, I believe, to do a little bit of damage, depending on if they can stay healthy. I like the starting rotation they brought in, because when you look at that, they have some names. You mentioned Cole Ragans. He comes over in the Aroldis Chapman trade from Texas. Texas had him in the bullpen in AAA and Round Rock, using him kind of like as a long reliever. He was working on things at this one specific facility called Tread, added some velocity to his off speed and his fastball. So, those are things that the Royals saw. The Rangers were in a situation where I guess they couldn't use him as a starter, or didn't want to use him as a starter, or didn't think to use him as a starter. Whatever it is, they needed bullpen help last year, as we know. They bring in Aroldis Chapman, and they win the World Series, so great for them. But it seems like they kind of gave up on this guy just a little bit too early, because he comes over and Kansas City makes him a starter. And in 12 games last year for them, he goes 71 and 2/3 innings pitched to a 2.64. Strikes out 89 guys in those 71 and 2/3 innings. So fastball ticks up. He learns to throw the slider a little bit harder. He's getting a bunch of swings and misses on it. And it looks like a fleece almost. Now he's got to continue to do it. So you have him at the top of the rotation. Waka, go check out his stats for the last couple of years. Lugo, the same thing. Like, that is a nice top three to have, especially as you guys are pointing out, in a division where games can be won. So, 51 games last year. How many can you improve on? What's the benchmark? They got some work to do for sure. But like you said, Jake, I think if you're a fan of the Royals, there's some optimism, probably for the first time in 3-4 years. So I like what they've done, who they've brought in, the trades they've made as of late. There's some, like I said, there's some good optimism there.
On Ragans, real quick, I wonder if the Rangers did send him back to AAA and stretch him out to trade him, like that was their plan, because he was just a reliever, and but he was awesome. So I'm very excited. Waka and Lugo had great seasons, but they're never names that I'm going to be like, whoa, they got Waka and Lugo. That's game-changing. But they might deserve more than that from me. I don't know.
For the way they pitched last year. It's MLB guys we know. I mean, Lugo's been waiting for that starting pitching opportunity, and he's kind of getting it, and he's performing. Waka, he's had kind of the longer road to get where he is now, but when he's been out there the past couple of years, he's been good. So, I think if you're a Royals fan, you should have a little bit of excitement. I think zooming out on the major league level, or just us talking about the Central, because, with the playoff spots, someone will win the Central. I really lean Trev's Twins again, and I've spent a chunk of this offseason seeing, who's going to compete with the Twins, because they lost some pieces this offseason, and they basically said they weren't going to spend money. So it's okay, the Twins felt like they were leaving the door a little open. When I compared the Royals to the other teams in the Central, and I guess recent success also kicks in a little bit, that Trev, you mentioned the Tigers second. I like the Tigers. I don't think I would necessarily put them second. I'm interested to see where the people put them. Like, I really love those Guardians young pitchers that they put all in timeout last September. So for me, it's kind of, can the Royals compete with those teams over the summer? Yes, absolutely. Like, if things go, Bobby Witt's a star. 30 homers, 49 stolen bases last year. 23 years old. If Pasquantino comes and he does his thing, like, could be a sneaky top, like, lefty-righty combo you'll find on a baseball team. It's just, where is everything going to come up? Is Garcia the third baseman? Is he that guy? I'm not sure. Velasquez, 14 homers in 40 games, currently slotted down the second half of the lineup. Like, is he a guy for them? I'm not sure. You kind of know what you're going to get from Salvi. I'm interested to see how the pieces come together. It's a beautiful baseball town. But even when I'm comparing them to those other AL Central teams, I kind of like their chances to click, whether it's Cleveland's pitching or whether it's just Detroit's young stars to take the next level. I still kind of lean them against Kansas City.
I, as you were saying that, was listening and trying to think with you or against you, decide, you know? And I'm with you. I mean, I think the rotation and the lineup are real, like, oh, that could go real south as you get down them. And even like, So, I mean, that bottom of the order, I know Velasquez had some pop last year at the end, but that could get real light really fast.
I think you could say that about a lot of teams, though. There's not too many teams that have like that 1 through 9 where you're like, okay, like there's going to be some outs in this lineup throughout the year, 100%. They're going to mix and match. There's not going to be one set lineup for the Royals. They're going to platoon guys. Our guy, Talking Baseball legend, Adam Frazier, he'll be kind of all over the place, like we mentioned before. Yeah, I mean, look, they do need to have things go right, and I don't think they're going to be competing necessarily for the AL Central, although Vinny Pasquantino did come out in their fan fest and say, we want this Central, and I love you, Vinny, but that's the Twins. That's the Twins for
Trivia, okay. Name the Royals manager.
Quatraro.
Hell yeah. Come on. Baseball guys.
Come on, man.
Good job.
That's
Good
my
stuff.
guy.
Good stuff. I saw a press conference once. There's 4 other guys there.
All of his pressers.
I was at one. There was literally
that's been all
4 reporters there. It was nuts.
I wasn't sure if we were going to say his name right, and I don't think we did, but that's not our
Matty Q. You guys nailed it. They had a terrible bullpen last year. They were awful in a lot of the things, and people are interested in who's going to be their closer this year. And someone might get it out of spring. Will Smith, he's gotten a lot of saves before, but James MacArthur was nasty, like I said. Nick Anderson has been nasty if he gets there. I think they might go by committee. Unless, Royals fans, you know your team better than us. But they do have a lot of arms in the bullpen, and it's going to be interesting to balance that and find their roles that the guys feel comfortable in and buy into and all of that stuff. But if you want to go have some fun, go look at the Mick dudes on the Royals, the Mick Royals. James MacArthur, I think John McMillan, sits 100.
Will Smith, full circle, used to be a starter for the Royals. Now he's back and could possibly be closing games out for them. I kind of like that aspect, that storyline. I think I hit a homer off him when he was a starter. How about that?
Oh boy.
He's been playing for a long time. That's why I brought it up. You guys know that.
And Trev, question. What's Will Smith done the past... Was it 2 or 3 years now?
3.
3. He's won a lot of World Series.
Oh, and now he's on the Kansas City Royals. Very interesting.
Not that interesting. Chris Stratton.
What?
Also a World Series winner last year. World Series hero?
Didn't Johnny Gomes do the World Series tour at one point too?
No, he took over. Johnny Gomes took over their World Series
parade,
speech and parade, and all the guys were like, "What? What's going on here?"
Hey.
Guys, James MacArthur, 2.01 ERA in his last 17 games. And the whiff rate on his stuff is crazy. So just go watch him pitch if you want.
Chris Stratton, this is a note from Dalton, a dope
note.
I thought it was dope, yeah.
It's a dope note from Dalton.
Stratton has thrown the second most innings pitched as a reliever since 2021. So just some credit to Chris Stratton there. Why not? He's going out there and twirling the damn pill. Hey, Royals, find out what you do here.
Of all summer to figure it out.
Your bullpen, I think, was second worst in baseball last year. You added a ton of guys. Maybe make it a solid bullpen. And if you're competing, awesome. Or if you got parts to sell, last year you sold Aroldis Chapman and you turned him into your one starter this year, Cole Reagans.
I think they should still do that because they don't have, I don't think, a top 100 prospect still.
Find out what you do.
How is that possible?
Is it Bobby Witt and Pasquantino all day long and we need to build more around them? Like, find out what we do this year.
You got a lot of people you can sell if they're having good years.
Trev, what happened to Asa Lacy?
Yeah, what happened to Asa Lacy? I've been asking that a lot lately.
Nice.
That's pretty
Trev,
good.
you solved Will Smith so fast. Pop up, walk, homer, first game you faced him in that order.
Wow. He never was a starter again after that year. So
Just missed that pop-up, too.
scared him, yeah. Jake, why don't you talk about little Vinny P and kind of what he brings to the lineup?
So, Vinny Pasquantino, we have to remind people that there is a little bias here because he's one of the good guys in baseball, like actually kind of uses his social media, thinks Chris Rose is cool. I big leagued him, which is insane. Vinny Pasquantino, what we like, Trev, career. It's 133 games. So he played 72 in 22, 61 in 23, 272, 355, a 799 OPS. That's a 122 OPS plus. He did that as a 24 and 25-year-old. He had the shoulder surgery. The dude, sometimes I laugh, Trev, when you talk about like a guy who's hurt and he's coming back and now he's hungrier than ever. And it's like, yeah, dude, kind of all athletes need that. Otherwise, you're doing the wrong thing. Pasquantino's like a sports junkie. Reminder, he thinks Chris Rose is cool. Like, he's been missing baseball so much that dude, even if another 56-win season comes, if he's out there playing ball, I think that guy's going to be on cloud nine, and he's going to give you an on-base threat, and maybe he can be protection for Bobby Witt to take the next leap, because you mentioned the contract extension he got. Go check out Bobby Witt's second half last year. OPS in the 9s with the speed that he's doing, so that his OPS plus S that we've come up with. Like, Bobby Witt would be one of the best players in baseball, and he is. So that's the thing. Like, if you give me my shortstop, my first baseman, we've got a couple other things clicking. Maybe Cole Reagans is that guy.
Coro.
Like, it's tough to get. Not a lot of people are going to be putting chips on the table about this team, but maybe if some of these pieces coming into next year are. And this Royals front office, they have shown us, although it is kind of a new crop than that World Series front office, they went out and they made moves this offseason. They signed guys. Like, that's a baseball city. I think the ownership and however they communicate with their front office kind of lets them go a little bit and like, hey, let's do this. And hopefully they're in a better position after this season to go do that next year, because trying to turn around a 56-win team in 1 year, that's really hard. You get 15 games better and you win 71 games.
Yeah, I think
I
think they're clearly setting up to have a better season, but also they have pieces to sell because they need to get the farm going. On Vinny P, I love his swing profile, like all the data about that. He makes contact in the zone above average. He makes contact out of the zone above average. His whiff rate is below average, but the contact he makes, it's above average in barrel percentage, above average in hard contact. So when this dude's right, that's like the exact kind of baseball player I like watching hit. Like, commands the zone, is a quote-unquote contact bat, but also when he's making contact, it's not flares and tarp shots and, dribblers. He's hitting it hard. So, good shit, Vinny.
I mean, that's why his projections are kind of off the charts a little bit. The steamer projections. I mean, who do you have to pick one? I guess whatever one fits your narrative, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Whatever. Steamer has him for 136 games, 24 homers, 85 ribbies, 79 runs for a 128 WRC plus. I mean, that's a nice season. And guess what? You locked Bobby Witt up. If this guy comes out on fire, lock him up too. Like, let's get a 1-2 punch and build around these guys, because this is a team, they can hurt your feelings. In 2024, they're going to hurt some teams' feelings. Now, some teams are going to come in and catch the Royals on a bad streak, and it's going to be what it is. But this team's going to win series against good teams.
Dude.
They have the starting pitching to do it. They have some guys that can swing the bat. Like, they have enough versatility around the roster. Like, this is a team that's going to have this team's going to have a really good month. They're going to like lead the big leagues 1 month, and like they're going to go like 16-9 or whatever it is. Like, they're going to have some really good months. I think there's going to be some peaks and valleys here. The floor is low, but I think the ceiling is probably a little bit higher than people are giving them credit for.
Can I tell you something cool about Vinny Pasquino that I found out even further? But then we'll do the over-under. He's a lefty batter. Against fastballs, against righties, the batting average is a little lower than against lefties because he's mashing and he's slugging. But against lefties, the batting average is higher. The slugging's down. So he's like, all right, I know this is a little more hard, but I'm still going to get my base hit.
I like that.
Yeah, 318 batting average when lefties throwing fastballs. And he had a 400 batting average against lefty fastballs the season before. But against righties, the batting average dips to 290, 280. But that slugging goes to 485 and 510. Send me Vinny Pasquino at bats. Yeah. Sounds like a joy to watch.
You'd like him.
He is. Nice guy. And also, the DraftKings Sportsbook. My goodness. So much going on there. By this time it comes out, football's done, but basketball is rolling, baseball is coming, and right now at the DraftKings Sportsbook, new customers can get a no-sweat bet, get a bonus bet back up to $1,000 in the amount of your original bet if it doesn't hit. Minimum deposit of $5. Sign up using promo code Talkin. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code Talkin and get a no-sweat bet. That's promo code Talkin only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. What's the over-under here there? I hadn't seen it yet.
It is sitting at 73.5. That's a dog frog.
Yeah, you got it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
That's quick.
I'll bet leadoff.
All right, I'll take the under.
Which I hope the Royals find their leadoff guy at some point during this season. Whether Melendez comes back up there or maybe Bobby Witt leans into that role. I don't know. I will also be going under. That's like getting close to 20 games better than last year.
They added a lot. I mean,
They had a lot of MLB guys, so I respect that.
Hunter Renfroe's going to hit, 30 homers? 28 homers. That's what he does.
Just hit homers.
Yeah, it's just a little too high for me, too. If this thing was sitting at,
45.
Phoebe, 69, I might take a swing at the over.
I think
73 and a
70 is a great
half.
goal for them.
To go from 51 wins last year?
Yeah, not if we think they're selling too. So it's an under.
The Chicago White Sox finished 61-101 last year, and the Royals were 5 games behind them.
They also lost Vinny
Vinny.
P. They didn't have some of these starting pitchers. They only had Cole Reagans for half a season. There's some things that are pointing up. For sure, they're starting pitching. I mean, look at the team rankings last year. It was bad, people. And, I don't think they're going to be there this year necessarily. 27th in starter ERA, 29th in bullpen ERA. You can go to whip if you want. There's just not a lot of ways to butter knife a...
Listen, we don't have to harp on it. I'd taken the under, but I think the Royals fans should be happy that they're going to take a step up from the 56 wins.
I don't know where that
Might be
73.5
among
came
the
from.
most
It's basically what I'm
improved
trying to say.
Hey, if they win 72 games this year,
That's nice.
that's delightful.
And then you trade some people, you get some more prospects. You're having yourself a season. Thanks for tuning
Is this
in.
one of those
Appreciate
Vegas
you guys.
things?
Go the Royals! Subscribe to the
I don't know
channel.
the number.
Oh, thanks for subscribing. That was nice.
Shout out Ian Kennedy
Always.
Yeah.
and Danny Duffy and Foster Griffin.
Wade Davis.
Mike Miner. He's been there.
Greg Holland.
Pumped him 3 times.
I do like Carlos Hernandez's fastball.